This chick looks crazy. Look at those eyes. Anybody who I see with eyes bigger than mine, I know is out of their mind.
I want to maintain my lifestyle, Judge. I like to buy nice purses.
Tell them you want that soft life, brother.
Get a job. Go do something with your life.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Jishi Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
You know, there are certain points that I just believe are worth bringing up once in a while, because people tend to forget the reality of many situations. One of those being the truth behind the richest women in the world. If you didn't know, the richest women in the world got most of their money either through divorce or through inheritance from a man. Here's a video from Joe Rogan that really goes deep into this. Let's get it.
Google the richest women in the world, like where they got their money from. It's rough out there, guys. They ain't fucking starting businesses. They're marrying dummies. It's almost all of it is divorce. Almost all of it's divorce money. Feminists do not want to hear this. But there was one woman who was the richest woman ever from a startup company, Elizabeth Holmes.
Oh, that shit was crazy.
She ran a company called Theranos. She started it herself, dropped out of college to start this company, and it was a total fraud. It was all fraudulent. She's going to jail forever. She was worth $34 billion at one point. It was a blood testing company. They falsified all sorts of data, and they lied to investors and all sorts of shit. This lady, she used to dress like Steve Jobs. She wore a black turtleneck.
This chick looks crazy. Look at those eyes. Anybody who I see with eyes bigger than mine, I know is out of their mind. That's not coffee. That's crack. No, but really, she looks pretty insane. Let's keep watching.
And everything, and I saw her speak once.
All right, so that's that. I'm actually curious about listening to. Let's see if I can find a longer version of that actual video. I'm curious to hear more about that. Let's see. Joe Rogan, richest women in the world. All right, so I'm going to play it now. Let's get it.
Did you find about the women with the
Yeah,
investments?
I was waiting to.
Oh, good.
From Newsweek in July.
Okay, what does it say?
Is like right here.
The upper echelons of money and power, blah, blah, blah. According to Forbes, the world's 15 wealthiest people are men. Women only make up 10% of the top 100 separate wealthiest women in the world. Most of their money comes from their male relatives or husbands. Yeah. The top 10 wealthiest men made their fortunes themselves.
Now, who are the top 10 wealthiest women that didn't get it from divorce?
Oh, here they go. Though.
Oprah's got to be
Hold
up
on
there.
a second. Yeah, she's up there. The first self-made woman on the list is, wow, I don't know how to say this woman's name. Zhou. That's one word. Qunfei. Zhou Qunfei, who was born to a poor family in China, dropped out of school at 16. She went on to found an enormously successful technology company. But if you put men back into the equation, she's only 198th richest person in the world.
Wow. She drops down to 198th richest person once you add men into the equation.
No matter how you feel about the concept of few people hoarding enormous wealth, the notion that women can only access money and power through their families or husbands seems medieval at best. Yet we see it occur at the very top of many professions outside of the business world. Yeah, it's most people.
Can you read the next stuff?
Yeah, a
About
recent
Hillary Clinton?
high-profile example is Hillary Clinton. During her presidential campaign, the first female major party nominee, she campaigned on a ticket of empowerment. Yet, although she is accomplished in her own right, she entered politics as the wife of Bill Clinton and has undoubtedly benefited from his prestige and connections.
You know what? We know the excuse is going to be the wage gap, or women are not allowed to enter into certain industries, when the truth is these are just highly competitive industries where men work tirelessly and ruthlessly. And of course, with a bit of luck, anything's possible, but they're more willing to compete. Hey guys, did you know that I'm on Facebook? Go ahead and hit that link pinned to the top of the comment section. If you're on Facebook, give me a follow. You can keep track of current content, shorts, and also older content. if you are following me on Facebook. Appreciate you guys back into the video.
Yeah,
And
well,
sacrifice.
that's true. But
I
she also
thought
was
it
a
was
lawyer.
about money. I didn't mean for you to read that.
She was a lawyer and she was a senator.
Now, Oprah's up there as the
Yeah.
world's richest women, period, like that have made it on their own.
That's a weird thing because they're saying I'm not a big fan of Hillary Clinton, but by saying she definitely entered because she was, she was married to him, but she was a lawyer. I mean, she's an accomplished person. She's educated, accomplished. She was a senator. I don't think that makes sense.
I hate when people say shit like that. You know what? You're at the right place at the right time. And you jumped. And you jumped.
Yeah.
You jumped. So that's the problem. I'm not mad at nobody. You can't say she got into. Yeah, she may be a little help, a push here, a call here, but she jumped.
This is a great book I'm reading right now. It's called Outliers by Malcolm McDowell. It's great. And it's all about what makes people successful and why they were successful. And there are a lot of factors, man. There's a lot of factors in when you were born. Like a lot of it, he goes on about hockey players, about professional hockey players, that almost all of them were born at a certain time so that they were at the end of the age cutoff. So like say if, you're between 10 and 11, when you go into, what is that, 5th grade? If you're one of the oldest kids, you have a way better chance of being successful at hockey because your body's more mature than whether you're one of the youngest kids that goes into 6th grade. So whether you're 5th grade or 6th grade, like what year you were born is a big factor. So the kids that were born later, so that they're older, rather, the kids that are older when they enter into the 5th grade or 6th grade, they're like across the board, unanimously, all the top level professionals were all older kids in younger grades.
So I guess the key point there is slow them down a couple of years so that they're bigger than all the other kids, which doesn't seem like the best idea.
So that they're playing against smaller kids, they get more time, they're better, so they get more coaching, they get more hours playing. There's a lot of factors. There's a lot of factors in, like, one of the things about Bill Gates.
That makes sense.
There's a whole great chapter on Bill Gates and about when Bill Gates was young, the the school that he went to had a computer class that allowed him to do coding. And then he got into the University of Washington. They would let him get into their computer room from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. They had this open block. So him and his friends would sneak into that place at 3 o'clock in the morning. So all these different factors that lead to someone being like super successful. It's not just that you work hard. It's sometimes you get these weird advantages in life. There's a bunch of things. Like, for sure, hard work plays a factor. If you don't do nothing, you just sit around and woe is me and cry and think the world, you're not going anywhere. But the people that make it to the very top, the Bill Gates, the Steve Jobs, they have a bunch of things going for them. It's not just hard work. It's also fortune, where they are, what, who's around them, who encourages them. There's a bunch of, and what time they were born, and what age they were when certain things happened in the world.
This is very true. And I want to take this opportunity to also encourage any man today who's pursuing anything, that along with those random moments of opportunity, good luck, unpredictable, positive turn of events that may happen to you, there's also you capitalizing and realizing that you have an opportunity at hand. And if you're somebody who wants to improve your life, I definitely did this a lot of times without realizing it. And everything I do now, when I look back at me capitalizing on opportunities that came in my life, definitely makes sense. I can string it along and see how I ended up kind of doing what I do. And I just want to encourage you to seize those opportunities. Sure, you may not have $1 billion opportunity, but you may have a life-changing opportunity nevertheless. Let's keep listening.
A bunch of factors. But for all those chicks, it's just marrying the right dude. Getting divorced. Getting paid. I know a lady who just got paid from a divorce, and she's just shooting shit into her face. 20-year-olds now. It's hilarious. She's in her late 40s. 20-year-old dudes.
How rough must that must be
It's funny, man.
to cut that check?
Oh, to cut the
I
For the
know.
guy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
it's
hard.
rough. I've known guys. I knew a guy who he cut a check for somewhere in the neighborhood of $50 million.
Jeez.
Yeah, to his ex.
I know a guy who cuts a check for 30 grand a month.
Ooh,
Gee,
that's painful too.
30 grand a month. He
Oh, I
signs
know a
check.
couple guys who pay that.
And that was
That's crazy.
not beside the $500,000 up front.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
house,
Yep.
2 cars.
Mhm.
Like he just walked away.
I know a guy who's paying close to that, and he hasn't even seen his wife. He's been married to a different woman, for 14 years. At least, 14 years. And he was only married to that lady for 12. And he's still cutting her checks. And no kids. He's got kids with a new woman. The old woman, no kids. Still cutting her fat checks. Tries to bring it to court, try to reduce the amount of money. She fights him tooth and nail. You left me. He left her 14 years ago, man.
Mercy.
They were only together for 12 years. It's like she doesn't want to work.
See, those are the type of laws right there that need to be changed. When we talk about change in family court, that's definitely up there. Top 3 for sure. There's no reason any human being, man or woman, should be out here paying somebody alimony, any type of spousal support for the rest of their lives if they don't remarry, because obviously they're just not going to get married. They're going to take the easiest way out. It's what human beings do. And we've got all these laws that haven't caught up to the advancement in feminism of women claiming how much of boss babes they are, but still definitely are not going to call for these laws to be changed until, like I always say, until they are effective. So don't slow down on accepting that alimony. You're doing a service to bringing change, because when they start crying and the world sees women's tears and they're cashing out because they are now the men whom they desire, then the world will listen. Then the world will finally listen. Let's keep listening.
He so hard she can't work anymore. It's crazy. If it was a man, if the situation was reversed and a guy was dating a girl and they were dating for 12 years and she's like, I'm tired of this, I'm gonna dude, and the guy took her to court, got money from her, and wanted money still 14 years later, what kind of a man would that be? Like, get a job, go do something with your life.
A man who's using the system to his advantage, which at this point, in my own opinion, isn't evil at all. I'm not saying you make sure that she's homeless with no hope on the side of the road. No. If you need the help, take it. Take it.
You're a human being. You met another human being. You spent some time with them. They don't want to be with you anymore. It's over. Like this, there's no children.
Now, what
to
are you
take care
going?
of.
What do you tell the judge that you want your lifestyle, right?
Yes.
The lifestyle that you were
I
accustomed
want to
to.
maintain my lifestyle, Judge. I like to buy nice purses.
Tell him you want that soft life, brother. That was kind of loud. I need to keep that down.
I like to walk my little dog. I like to put him in a little purse.
Now, in California, there's different factors also. You have to be with that person for 10 years or something, right? There's little factors, a couple by the ways.
There's factors, and they change, depending upon the laws, and they change depending upon how much money you make. And, my friend was pretty wealthy. He did well. But the guy who I know that had to pay $50 million, he's real successful, obviously.
Right.
You got to make a lot of money to give your wife $50 million. But he still had to give her $50 million.
I see the kid. Listen, I see the kid point.
5-0, baby.
I see the child support point, and I see a little bit of help.
There's the list.
Here's the unique one.
Oh, Madonna's divorce from Guy Ritchie, estimated 76 to 92 million. She had to give him.
She's the first woman listed first on this.
Damn.
See, the boys were up.
She had to give him 76 million. Way to go, Guy Ritchie. I like to have him back here. Now I know how you buy those suits.
Now, what's his name? Pays the singer from Bush.
Look at this. Michael Jordan's divorce from Juanita Jordan, 168 million. Mel Gibson's divorce in 2006 after 26 years.
425 million.
God damn. Stop
crazy.
scrolling. Look at this. Jesus Christ. Steve Wynn's divorce 2010. 1 billion. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Steve Wynn. 1 billion. Rupert Murdoch's divorce
Someone check on Steve.
in 1999 after 31 years of marriage. 1.7 billion.
Neil Diamond, 150. Harrison Ford, 118 million.
Whoa, Harrison Ford.
All right, guys. So we've got, let me see, what else do we have here? You know what I did? I went and I checked the most recent 2024 richest 10 women in the world, and it was the same thing. Here's a photo of them. It says top 10 richest women in the world. Same thing, either divorce or inheritance from a man, from a grandfather, husband, father. And of course, you see a familiar face on there, or two, depending on how much you're into this type of stuff. I definitely see Jeff Bezos' ex-wife here, who everybody praises like she's an angel for giving her wealth away, which is good. But I don't know, man. I have a hard time trusting that most people who are just giving away large sums of wealth, call me jaded, are just doing it purely because they're just getting absolutely nothing in return. I believe people out there would do that, but I don't know. It's always publicized, and then with the type of money she's giving away, of course, it's going to make headlines. Actually, got a few comments here from angry women who definitely did not like this video. First comment here from an angry modern woman says, Martha Stewart, ... self-made. She's like, oh, Martha Stewart. Don't forget Martha Stewart. Somebody responded back to her and said she was in jail too. This is true. Somebody else here says one of the Jobs' wife is giving all her money away as we speak. She doesn't want none of, hold on. Oh, okay. One of the Jobs' wife is giving all her money away as we speak. She doesn't want none of the money. I think she means Jeff Bezos' wife. Or maybe one of Steve Jobs' wife is also doing the same thing. Anyway, somebody else responded here and says she still took it, as in she still took the money. Here's another person who says, what about the Walmart woman? And somebody else here says, Oprah, Taylor Swift, list goes on. She's just mentioning rich women. And the article was about the top richest women, including men. And a man responded back to that comment and said, richest women in the world, Google it. Somebody else here says the double standards these women have is embarrassing. Somebody else here added those wealthy ex-wives were with their husbands every step of the way and gave them children, well-deserved. Somebody else here says, so are you trying to say only prostituees and divorcees can get rich? No, that's not what he's saying. The whole video is very specific. The top richest women in the world. Somebody else here added, the richest women in the world inherited their money. These videos are such clickbait. She goes on to say with her angry self, the women in the Rockefeller family and even the Walmart women, but I guess because they're not on social media like that, you don't realize their income. Somebody else responded back to her and says, yes, that's the point. They don't create money. They get it from inheritance. Parentheses, including divorce. One thing that I wonder is, how do you think this will change within the next generation of men who are definitely a lot more enlightened, right? They're drinking the good shit and understand that, you know what? This is definitely not the smartest way to approach marriage. If I do value marriage today, I want to make sure I guard myself, because these women don't take marriage as seriously as they put on to be. It'll be interesting to see how things play out. My question is, would they still be on that list? Because a lot of people think prenups keep women from getting anything at all. Like they want to make these unrealistic prenups where a woman doesn't get anything. She cheats, she loses everything. A judge is not going to side with you in that type of a situation. It has to be realistic. And I'm wondering if, even if they do get a smaller percentage than the man getting completely effed over, alimony for the rest of his life, but because that small percentage is still from the world's richest, one of the world's richest men, I wonder if there'll still be a possibility for them being in that top 10 list, if you get what I mean. Guys, listen, as always, I'm curious to know what you think. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you as always for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pot. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.